Hi, my name is Mina Ricky, and I am Lidiya Korzhuk, and this is Decode REI. Discover your perfect real estate investment match with Decode REI, your matchmaker in the world of real estate. Let us find your investment soulmate and make your heart and wallet happy. Today we interview Sonia Maslovskaya. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna say if you have a chance to see her Instagram or YouTube, watch this on YouTube. Not this one, but the one with the interview. She is so gorgeous, so pretty, so elegant. I just absolutely love her. Not only she's gorgeous and pretty, how Mina put it, but she's a master communicator and she hacked the science how to deliver a very memorable and phenomenal speaker, to be a phenomenal speaker. She does have a linguistic major background, and she moved to the States when she was 22. So she was a full adult. So she went through this transformation of actually understanding how to communicate effectively in the new culture, new language. And the reason why we brought her in, well, first for disclosure, we are being coached by her. So if you see us improving, blame it on her. She's gonna be behind the scenes, really pulling our strings. But it's so important to learn to communicate effectively. I totally agree with you, Mina, because it's all stems from our childhood, all the traumas that we had. Sometimes we don't communicate correctly, and that's where she comes in and digs very deeply and sees where we at to help us communicate properly and to get our message across so it will be heard, whatever you're trying to say. She works with our personal stories. What are those stories that we tell ourselves over and over, that we've been telling ourselves throughout our whole life, that doesn't allow us to express freely and convey our ideas? So it's not enough to have great ideas. You have to be able to articulate them in a way that will make other people realize that what you are thinking, it's something that will benefit them as well. So she taps into emotions, efficiency, delivery, and she has just been doing this for a long, long time. Yes, she did. She even came up with a system called Four Pillars of Communication, Nina. And she went into that very deeply in this podcast. Yes, I actually don't remember all of them, but I'm willing to study them, and I know I'm going to be able just to take on them. The one thing that is very impressive about her as well is that she works with Forbes magazine. Not Forbes magazine. There is a Forbes coaching console. And that's just not a simple matter to get in there. And it takes a lot. You have to be a professional. I read a little bit requirements on that to see what it takes to become one. And my goodness, you have to be a really, really good and polished and contribute something to the society in order to be accepted. And I think she even mentioned that she got leveled up in the leadership program. Yeah, she mentioned something about that. What is impressive about her is that not only being able to communicate analytically or have the reason, but also add some of the storytelling element. So your stories will convey what the numbers don't express, don't share. And she gave us a great example of human trafficking. When you see the number of 26 million people in the world are getting trafficked right now. Well, 26 million doesn't sound as much as is the same amount of people as the whole population of Australia. Mm-hmm. When you put it in that concept, oh my gosh, the whole country, it's not a country, it's continent. Yeah, continent. The whole continent of Australia is being human trafficked. Oh my gosh, we have to do something about it. But it's just the way that you relate it to your stories and how we've been telling stories throughout our whole living and existence on this world. I heard somebody else talking about stories, and back in the day, before there was a written form of communication, the way people would tell about the dangers of the world and what to watch for, what to be careful with, was through stories. People will sit down by the fire, and then the leader or whoever knew the stories, they will stand up and they will share. This is what happened to Joey, who was walking by himself at the middle of the night. He thought he would go and take a shower in the river, and then a bear came and ate him alive and just left his little shoe or his little sandal. Anyways, so through stories, people will learn something. Okay, don't wander away in the middle of the night by yourself. Or if you do, watch for bears, things like that. Stories have a direct connection with how we think and how we see things. In our business, entrepreneurship, stories are a big deal, right? So I tell Lydia, we joined this partnership and it's not working because of this. And then we didn't check on that. And then this happened. And now it's a mess. Okay, so these stories will strike a chord on Lydia and say, okay, if I'm going to invest in, I better check the background and I better check the operator and I better check everything. That way I don't have to relive the story that my friend just told me. Correct. That's totally right.
Mina, I had an interesting experience the other day. I was showing properties to a family with 2 kids, and we had 10 to see. After viewing about half, the family was getting pretty hungry, and they really just wanted to continue the other day.
So what did you do?
I went to my car and pulled out a bag of delicious Ricky jerky. They loved it so much they were able to continue our day without any issues. All the ingredients are 100% natural, plus every strip is seasoned, marinated, and smoked by hand to give you the best experience and slap you back into the gear. But I need to buy some more.
Oh, just head over to rickysjerky.com and use the discount code Decode REI for 15% off your first order.
So whether you're a busy real estate agent or just looking for mouth-watering snack on the go, Ricky Jerky got you covered.
So one of the biggest thing, how you mentioned the 4 pillars, she's talking about physical, she's talking about intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. So stories can trigger hormonal response, and that's emotional. And that's what people will remember, and you become more memorable with whatever you're trying to convey. Because when she was talking about 26 million and the continent of Australia, a whole continent disappeared, I think a lot of people would connect with it. But when you're not connecting that emotional, then she even mentioned Martin Luther King, who was amazing, amazing speaker. And he had all the elements. Yes, he had all the elements. I totally agree with you. And that's why he was so memorable. I do remember one time we were in her, a little gathering with Sonia and some of her students, and there is a lady that has been in the business of essential oils, and Sonia put her on the spot, and she had to start talking about oil, and he just grabbed the first oil that was by her. She said, "Oh, mirror oil." And she started telling us the whole treasure about mirror oils and how it relates, go back to biblical, Old Testament biblical times with Queen Esther, which was right on time for that day's meeting. Anyways, the richness of just triggering her to tell stories, it got so embedded in my head. It's like, I'm crazy. I need some more oil. Absolutely. And she was talking about how shy she is to be on social media. And I just straight out told her, you are robbing people, you're stealing from people. We need to know all of this. But that is the importance of just being confident on being able to express whatever message is it that you are compelled to tell. Totally agree with you, because she was very passionate about the oils, and she needs to share that passion and explain what's so beneficial about that to the public. And she's robbing everybody because she's not confident. But I think she's working with Sonia, and I think she will appear in Facebook and other social media and shares the story. So everybody that's out there, if you're looking to improve your communication skills or have a fear of speaking, and form the art of story, because Sonia figured out how to make an art out of the story to explain to people, no longer elevator pitch working, but the stories people can relate on the hormonal level. Please contact her, and the contact information is going to be below again. And we would love to see you in one of her classes, because we are actively taking those classes. Yeah, and you know what would be the best part? People cool, those folks that are listening to us, and then they all of the sudden start to see an improvement in the way we deliver our message through the podcast. And they are like, you know what? I remember those girls talking about a lady coach. Let me try to find her. And then, they join the class. That would be absolutely amazing. That would just show how important it is, and how much of a difference it makes. Totally agree with you. So we want to see you guys there in those classes, because we're going to continuously take them. And thank you again for joining us and tuning in. My name is Mina Ricky, and my email is mina@decoderei.com. Feel free to drop us a line and let us know how we're doing. Yes, definitely. And I am Lidiya at decoderei.com. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.